What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Product Feed Optimization Guide. My name is Floris van Vleuten. I am the owner of Amplifize, the Google Ads agency where we help scale e-commerce businesses, specifically with Google Ads specifically. And I share content all around the internet just to make sure that you know that we know what we are doing, but to help you in general. So in today's video, I want to cover what the importance is of a proper product feed, how you can make sure you optimize your product feed for the best sales, and basically how to optimize your product feed to get more sales for your online store and make everything scalable. So what we are going to cover, it's 7 short points, and in case you don't know and didn't watch any of my content before, I would like to get straight to the point because your time is very valuable and I know that. So we're just going to walk you through it as quick as we can to share the valuable information, and then we can all get to work. So we have 3 pages of information. I will walk you through it, and by the end of this video, I am 100% sure that you know exactly what to do to optimize your product. So a short introduction. I won't get into Google Ads specifically because you are already watching this video, but Google Ads is, in my opinion, probably the best platform out there for generating more sales for your e-commerce brand. Specifically, shopping ads are maybe the most valuable placement on Google because they showcase very specific products. You have to know that the shopping ads placement, they perform on the top of the page in Google, right? And when it comes to search ads, the top the top placement, that one gets the most clicks, 9 times out of 10. With the shopping placement, it doesn't really matter. You just have to stand out with a couple things, so price, image, title, just a couple things. And in this guide, I will teach you exactly what you have to do to not only make sure you are on that page, but also to win the click even if you're not the first showing ad. So a product feed is a digital file containing a list of products and their attributes, so titles, description, product links, images, etc., etc. And this feed is crucial for Google Shopping Ads because you upload the feed, automated or not, but you upload the feed from your website to Google Merchant Center, and on Google Ads you get the Google Merchant Center data, so the product feed in the Google Merchant Center, and then you advertise everything. So optimizing your feed is crucial for getting the results because Google uses your feed to determine when and where to show your ads. So setting up your product feed. Don't make it too complicated. Just create a product feed using a tool. Don't use a spreadsheet. Don't do anything manually. Just make sure you use a tool and you send it to Google Merchant Center. If you use Shopify, you can use the Google and YouTube app, which is free, or you can use SimProcess, which is paid. If you want to use the paid version, if you're thinking about scaling, for example, if you have multiple currencies, multiple countries, I would suggest using SimProcess from the bat, because if you optimize your product feed and you use the same feed from the beginning, it will help with the machine learning of Google. So if you are planning to scale, I would suggest using SimProcess from the get-go. If you're using WooCommerce, you can just use Product Feed Elite, which is a free tool as well. You can shoot all your products. And even if you have multiple currencies, it doesn't really matter. You can just shoot everything to Google Merchant Center and optimize from there. A small side note to be made here, and I will get into it later. You can also use feed management tools. So you have the website and then you have Google Merchant Center and you shoot all the data to Google Merchant Center, right? If you have a lot of products and you have a lot of rules that you make, and if you have a preference of using another tool instead of Google Merchant Center itself, you could use a third-party tool like Channable, for example. I will get into that later. I must say, personally, I just like using Google Merchant Center also because in Google Merchant Center, you can use feed rules. You can optimize a feed very easily, and 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't recommend using a feed management tool because it's another tool, more cost, and the benefits that you get from it a lot of times aren't worth it, in my opinion, but that's just me. In terms of optimization strategies, there are a couple aspects that you want to optimize, right? Starting with the product title. You have to craft titles that are clear, descriptive, and keyword rich to improve visibility and click-through rate. Include brand, product type, and main features. So what you want to do for the product title. The product title is probably one of the most important attributes when it comes to Google Ads targeting, right? So the product title is like the top priority when Google reads your feed and decides whether or not to show your product on specific like search queries, right? So you want to use Google Ads Keyword Planner, look for high volume but high relevant search terms, and you want to include those in your product title. And you can include them in the feed specifically. I would even suggest using those keyword titles as your product title on the website. And of course, you don't want to have a product title containing 20 words or something. But like for SEO purposes, it could come in really handy to have a search term with high volume in the product title on your website. So just include the top performing one or like the top volume one, and then you can include the other ones in your product feed. In terms of the description, you want to write a compelling description because some people view it, some people click on it, and a description is also a targeting method by Google. You want to use high quality images. So if you view this example right here, they're all high quality images, but they don't particularly stand out, and like any of them in terms of images specifically. So what you want to do is look at your competitors, include high resolution images, but try to stand out. So maybe you could try using a lifestyle image or a in-use product or a, I don't know, like a kit and maybe the box in the image as well. Just try to stand out. When it comes to pricing and promotion, you want to be competitive, because if you are a reseller or you are selling a product that your competitors are selling as well, like not specifically, but the same type of product, people will compare your price. And if we look at this example again, we see some scooters, and we see one scooter that's just 50, right? Another 50 for shopping, but just £50. People are probably going to click that to see like if that's enough. And then I think maybe we have some electric scooters as well. So that doesn't give a good image. Let's say somebody would look for an electric scooter specifically, then the person would probably click on the cheapest one if the person doesn't care about any brand. So make sure you're price competitive. You can look this up in Merchant Center. There's a function called price competitiveness, and there you can exactly see where your ads show and if your competitors are selling the same type of product and what their price. Also, there's this one thing that you can do to make sure your product stands out. And to go back here again, let's see. No, we don't got any example right here, but you can do two things when you decrease the price. You can either create a sale price, which is another attribute in the feed, and it will go automatically if you use Shopify or WooCommerce. But you have a sale price, and that will show. So then you will have like this strike through old number and then a new number, which is in green, which stands out from the competition. Or you can just change the price, and then it will say like give you like a price drop label, and that will help as well. So you will have to like play around a little bit with the price. And you can either do this yourself or ask your agency to do it. So you probably know your profit margins. Just share all the information with your agency and like create some rules that they can play around with pricing a little bit, because a difference in pricing can give you a way better return on ad spend, like and essentially more profit. And you are acquiring the customer. If you have a good lifetime value, it's probably worth. Product categorization speaks kind of for itself. Stocks levels and availability. This goes automatically if you use one of the tools. Then you have advanced feed management, right? So what you want to do is you are advertising all the products in Google Ads. You want to use custom labels for like manual custom labels if you want to advertise specific products in specific campaigns. Let's say, for example, you have a category on your website with very high profit margin. You probably want to spend a little bit more on those, and the return on ad spend can be a little bit lower because your profit is a bit higher, right? So you can use custom labels to segment all your product and then create a good campaign structure accordingly. Besides that, you can create feed rules, like I said. So for example, if you have a category which is all pretty much the same product, but let's say a different product type, a different product variation, for example, what you can do is change all titles at once. For example, look up a specific word and then replace that word with some other word. And I hope this makes sense, but you can optimize your feed, for example, in terms of putting search terms in your titles the best way if you do it with this method. And that way you will save yourself a lot of time. Data quality. So Google Merchant Center is updating like once every 24 hours, I think, or maybe once every 12 hours. And it will sometimes give you errors, and you will have to resolve those errors, because as some of the viewers will probably know, if you have some disapproved products or even a disapproved account, the learning of the algorithm will be interrupted, and that's like the worst thing that you can have. So what you want to have is make sure every day that you just check Merchant Center for a couple minutes. If you have any errors, just fix the errors and then move on with your day. In terms of dynamic remarketing, we can use your feed for remarketing. So you can basically attach your feed to your remarketing campaigns and it will automatically be used for dynamic remarketing. I also created a video about this, so you can go to my YouTube channel to view that. In terms of monitoring and troubleshooting, right? We have feed diagnostics. So this is a tool in Merchant Center to monitor your feed's health. So you can optimize, for example, the titles or the images or the shipping times or whatever. When it comes to performance analysis, you can use both Google Ads and Google Analytics to evaluate your shopping campaigns and identify basically brands or specific products or categories which are doing real good or which are in need for some improvement, and then you can execute on that. In terms of price comparison, I mentioned this briefly already, but you can check the price benchmarks tab in Google Merchant Center to better understand your competitiveness and basically play around with that a little bit. Finally, we have some additional resources. So what we do personally is we use Google Merchant Center 9 times out of 10. We use feed rules, and we are using Channable for feed optimization. But if you are below 100 monthly sales, I wouldn't recommend using Channable or any other tool unless you 100% know you are going to scale. And I would say look into the real advantages that the feed tools have to offer you, because 9 times out of 10, everything that you want to do is doable in Google Merchant Center itself. So just keep that in mind. Cool. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope all is clear. As I always say in all of my videos, if you have any questions whatsoever, literally any questions, not even feed related, but Google Ads related or even ecom related, just drop them in the comments, connect with me on LinkedIn, shoot me a DM. I would be happy to answer all of your questions, and I probably get some content ideas from that as well, so I can create more content for you guys, help you out better, and make sure everyone gets more customers and sales through Google Ads, thanks to all the free content out there. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these kinds of videos, I would say subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as I said, connect to me on LinkedIn. I would be happy to connect with you there. And for now, have an amazing day, and I will see you some other time. Bye-bye.